Okay, today I'm going to show you which load boards to use to get box truck loads. One of the load boards I use is DAT Power. A lot of people use DAT Power actually. Probably almost everybody uses DAT Power. So if you can find, let's say if you can work relationships with the brokers and get off the DAT board, you'll have the upper hand. Because like I said, everybody and their grandmother uses DAT Power. And if everybody's looking in the same place, they're looking at the same loads and they're taking the bad loads. So this is a way to find them. But once you book a load with somebody, contact that broker and put them on your speed dial. And they will work with you. As long as you deliver the load on time, every time, they're going to put you on their due call list. But if you come up with some BS excuse, I hit a deer, or you pick up a load knowing you're not going to get there on time, they're going to blackball you. So once you work with a broker, try to keep that relationship going, because that's how you're going to get the most money and the best loads. But like I said, this video I'm going to show you which load boards to use to get box truck loads. This is DAT Power. They have something called Trucker's Edge. It's the same loads, but this one has more tools. So this is what I use. This is about $170. I think the Trucker's Edge now is like $70 something for the low end, and then they have a middle end for like 100 something, maybe 125. But let me show you how I get loads on this. The first setting, I go to only, and then we set up straight box truck. Obviously, I use moving van, regular van. A trailer, a box truck, and a van are considered vans. So then I go with van air ride, van liftgate, van logistics, and van blankets, because you should have blankets in your box truck, for machinery and other delicate stuff. You don't want to get scratched. City of origin, Cleveland, Ohio. That's where I'm from. Destination, we'll leave that open. It's Sunday. It's almost 3 a.m. So there's probably not going to be much loads here. I'm going to set it for Monday. Most of the loads will be there Monday morning. But like I said, it's Sunday night, in the middle of the night. And let's see what we can find. Deadhead, I leave it at 200. I'm not scared to drive for, as long as the money's right. I leave it on both full and partial loads. 26-foot box truck. 1 pound under 10,000, and I searched 24 hours back. And let's see what we have here. All right, so let's sort the rate. Sort just by rate. The highest rate. The highest rate is $3,000. It's 26 feet, 3,000 pounds, and it's going to Nevada, which is 2,200 miles from me. That's a no-go. I mean, you can call these people and try to work out maybe $500 to get here. It's a little bit much, but here's the deal. Nevada's a desert. Utah is a desert. Wyoming is mountains. Idaho is mountains. There's just so many bad states. In Nevada, you definitely want to get $4 or $5 going in there per mile, and then you might have to travel. You might have to travel far just to get how you say, just to get a load. And I'll show you here in a minute. Let me see, where's my tools at. The DAT Power has something called market conditions, and let me see, we'll put this to state, and this is the prior business day. We'll do the 7-day average, because these states are usually, they might be red one day, but they're usually always crap states. You have New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nevada. As you can see, red is is the hottest state, with blue being the coldest. And this is mostly all semi-truck loads, okay? So if it's hard for, if the state is blue for semi-trucks, imagine how hard it's going to be for a box truck to get a load. So this is a tool I like to use. Let me go back further 30 days, because Some of these states have no business being red. Okay, so that's one we saw was Nevada. It's yellow. I mean, that means there's not much coming out of there. All these states over here, all desert states, as far as getting loads. Texas is another one. It stays red because they have a lot of semi loads, but a lot of people know when you go to Texas, you have to get a lot of money going in because you're probably going to get garbage coming out. And it's the same with Florida. But these states here are the worst of the worst. You got to get it $4, $5, $6 just to go in here. So that way you can deadhead to a place like California where you know you're going to get a load. Okay. So let me go back to the load board. So Nevada, out of the question. You got to get at least 5,500 just to go there. And what these, I mean, you could probably negotiate, but a lot of these brokers, they put these on here, hoping that a semi truck would just add it to their load. But there's always going to be somebody thirsty that takes these stupid loads. So that's why they post them. I mean, can't blame them. Utah's another desert state you don't want to go to. This one's it's 2,000 miles, $2,700. It's 20 feet. If you can get like a 6-foot load to go with it going that way, you could probably work with it. But there's not many loads here, like I said. So you have to call these people. Never settle for the rate here. When you call them, start out at your $2. I like to start out at $2.40 a mile, $2.50, depending on where I'm going. If I'm going to a desert state, I like to start out at $4 and $5 a mile. So don't ever settle for this stuff. So we'll keep looking. Here's a 200 mile from Cleveland, Ohio. It's going to PA. That's pretty close. You can do that in a day. It's 26 foot, under 10,000 pounds, and it's paying for $450. Okay. Now, that's more than $2 a mile, which is good. You always want to get your $2 a mile, but do you really want to make $450 a day? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I would never take a 200 miles. I'd say, let me see, it only takes about 4 hours. But, you remember you're picking up loads and then you got to wait to get unloaded. And then, yeah, 450. If you think 450 is good for a day, you can take it. I look for at least $1,000 a day, but definitely it's got the $2 an hour you want to look for, or the $2 a mile. Here's a better one to PA. It's only, jeez. Let me keep looking. Here's one for 3,800. Oregon is one of those bad states. 3,800 for 2,200 miles. You would think, that's like some people see that, say, hey, it's close to $2 a mile. But, this is going to Oregon. Oregon's a bad state to go to. You know what I'm saying? Let me put this extended mark in. This even breaks it down more to, the zones. Here's the thing about Oregon. Oregon has a lot of mountains. The higher up you are, the worse the weather is. There's ice storms, snowstorms, disgusting windstorms that knock your truck right off the road. And they have a lot of mountains without railings. I mean, it's a dangerous place to get in. A lot of people don't go up there. They'll try to get you to go up there, but you definitely want to get $4, $5, $6 going up in there. I would never take that. I would call them. My drivers won't even go there, so I don't even bother. But if it was me, I would call them and get that up to $5,000, or $5,500 at least to go almost 2,300 miles. So people might see this, and then next thing you know, they're on the Facebook groups asking for somebody to get them out of Oregon, and it's just not worth it. So when you go to these bad states, you want to get enough money to go in where you can deadhead somewhere else. I would ask for at least 5,500 for that. And then I would just deadhead to California if I had to. California, you can find a load going anywhere. So we're going to keep on looking. 3,000 here. It's going to Oregon. Same thing. 2,800 going to California from Illinois. 26 foot. Same thing with California. California, all right, this is 2,800 going 2,100 miles, okay? That's like $1.50 a mile. Well, here's the thing with California, man. You see all these ridges here, these are all mountains. You know, once you start getting in the Midwest, you start hitting these mountains, you're driving, you're averaging like 42, 45 miles an hour up and down these mountains. And if it's snowing and raining, it makes it even worse. And another thing that you have to factor in is the gas. When you go up and down these mountains, the gas is crazy expensive. The deeper you go in, the more it costs, because it's hard to truck this gas, the fuel in, or I mean the diesel. So when you see these mountains, you have negotiating power. Don't let no broker get over on you. Okay, this is not a $2, you know, $2 a mile thing. You gotta get at least 3, 4, or 5. And California is a good place because you know you can get a load out of there. So what was it? 2,100 miles. San Francisco, California. Yeah, you can double that. Ask for 5,500. Ask for, you know, maybe work it to 5,000 just because you know you're going to get a load there. You know, you start high. You know, you start at 5,500 and then try to work your way down to 5, and they'll go for it. Like I said, they post all this and hope somebody desperate will get it. I mean, there's people that might get it, but you know, not everybody goes to California. Utah's another desert state that you don't want to go to. There's 2,800 going to Utah. Utah is a desert for freight, and as you can see here, there's nothing there. If it's dry for semis, it's even worse for box trucks. Let's go for the shorter ones. I like to go for the short ones. This was 900 under about 1,000 miles, and you can do 1,000 miles in 2 days. So the starting base is $2,500. You could probably work this. I mean, get a little more. Minnesota's not a great place to, you know, to get loads, but it's close enough to Illinois that you can deadhead if you have to. Let me put this back to the state. Illinois, there's always good loads in Illinois, and then there's always looks like the DAT went out again, like it always do. Yeah, so Minnesota, it's close enough to Illinois. I would ask for more though. I wouldn't do the 2,400. I mean, it's under 1,000 miles. It's 17 feet in 3,000 miles. The good thing is that gives you 9 more feet to. So let me work with this. Let me see what this is. Pick up in Indianapolis. Go to Minnesota. Let me see what this is. Because you have 9 feet. 9 feet is a lot of room. So we're coming from Cleveland, Ohio, and we're gonna post what is it? Roselle, Minnesota. Reorder that, and that it's gonna be. Wow, it's all the way next to Canada. Geez, all the way up in Minnesota. So something like that. You would try to find something on the way there. So let me see. That's Minnesota. We have Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. And we have 9 feet of room left. So we'll sort this. What is this? Let me write this down. This is $2,474. $2,074 for 1,000 miles. And 9 feet of space left. How much room is that? That's 19 to 3,000. 17 feet. 17 feet, 3,000 pounds. Let's see if we can find something else. So we'll adjust this to length. 8 feet, 7,000 pounds. Now that puts us right on the border of 10,000 pounds. I wouldn't risk it unless you knew for sure you had 10,000 pounds to spare. But let's see if we can find under something 9 feet. This is 400 pounds, 3 feet, $1,000 more. It's going to Florida. It's in the wrong direction. This one's going to Texas, PA, North Carolina, Washington, Iowa. Let's say 7 feet, way too many pounds. 8 feet. West Virginia, PA, Missouri, Illinois, right here. Here's a good one. So, Illinois. This is going 313 miles. This is on the way to Minnesota. And it's 3,000 pounds. So that would put the total at 3,000 pounds. It's 8 feet, which gives you another foot of extra. It has no price, but this is something I would start at 1,000 pounds or $1,000. And then I probably wouldn't go no lower than $800. Okay. So let's say we can get 1,000, or let's say on the low end, we can get $800. You add $800 to that. 4, 7, 15. That's $3,500 to drive 1,000 miles to Minnesota. Let me see if I can find something better. But let's see. Texas, Virginia, New York, Illinois, 10 feet. So that's the only thing that we can fit in a partial. And remember, this is Sunday night. There's not really any loads, but that's what you want to do. You want to partial it out. So let's say we take this one, Bolingbrook, Illinois. We'll map it out. Add destination, Bolingbrook, Illinois. That's going to be on the way to Minnesota. And look, it doesn't even deviate from the route. It's right on the way to Minnesota. So if you can get 1,000 for that, you drop that off on the way there. You get 3,500. Let me see. Let me get the calculator out. $3,574. Divide that by how many miles? 1,000, 1,100 miles. 1,100 miles. Oops. 3,574 divided by 1,100 miles. That's $3.24 to get into Minnesota. Now, it's risky because, you know, Minnesota, you're almost by Canada, you're almost by North Dakota. You know, it's going to be hard to find a good load coming back, but you're getting $3.24 going in. I mean, you might be able to find something going into Illinois. That would be the best hotspot, is to get into Illinois. Once you drop this load off, we'll check, what is it, Rosal? Edit this. Rosal, what? Minnesota. Let's see if we can get something back going out of there. Yeah, as you can see, there's not much coming out of there. So it's a big risk. It's a big risk. You know, it's over $3 a mile, but here's something. What is it? 20 feet, 5,000 pounds going to Indiana. So here's, like I said, there's not a lot of load to risk it. This is 20 feet. But it's going back to Indiana. In Indiana, you can get a load. You can go. It's right next to Illinois. You would have to ask for more than this. You know, at least $1,800 just to get your $2. But if it was like an emergency and you wanted to get out of that bad state, you know, that'd be, you know, you can do something like that. But like I said, when you go into these states, you have to make the most money you can, because sometimes it's hard to get out of there. And the best place to get a load from Indiana would be, not from Indiana, from Minnesota, would be to go to Illinois. And that's quite a ways. So that's how you do it. I'm working with this on Sunday, so there's not really any loads. You know, that may change, but Minnesota is not the best place to get a load, and it's pretty cold. And the next load board that I use is 123 Loadboard. Again, we'll put 200 mile radius. This is 200. Well, let me add the length. Oh no, that's not it. My truck. So we're gonna tag van. cargo van for those who are looking for van loads, moving van, and straight box truck. There's not as many loads here as there is on that, but there's still loads here. All right. Yeah, there's plenty of loads here. Let me see. This is for the date. That's for today. I can just edit that for Monday. This is any date. What's the Monday? The 13th. 54 loads. All right. So there's a $400 loads there from Ohio to West Virginia. That's a no-go. Toledo in Ohio. You know, I could stay in the state. $500, 253 miles an hour, a mile. But like I said, I like to go for 1,000 because, you know, if you waste a day, you know, it doesn't matter how many miles. A day is a day. A day is a day. Here's a good example for one for Florida. This is from Cambridge, Ohio, going to Doral, Florida. It's $4,000. It's $3.51 a mile. It's under 8,000 pounds, which is good. But like I said, Florida is one of those dead states. 350 is okay, but you know, Florida is, oh my goodness. I would ask for more. I mean, there's people that take $2 and get stuck in Florida. You know, they get thirsty. You know, they've been taking $1.35, $1.50 all week, and then they see something like this. I mean, it's close. I mean, it's not too bad to go into Florida for 4,000. You know, but you know, try to get more. Try to get more because Florida is a dead state, man. There's no doubt about it. And this thing is dead, man. That's that for you. Yeah, Florida's a dead state. I mean, that's a good start. Call them, negotiate, try to get more. 2000 $2,000, $391, or $3 and almost $4 a mile to go to North Carolina. It's 500. I mean, that's not bad at all. North Carolina isn't the busiest place either. You know what I'm saying? But you know, close to $4, you could probably take that. Jacksonville. This is coming from West Virginia. 751, 1800, $2.51. I mean, you know, there's people that'll bite. Like I said, there's so many people desperate out there, man. They take garbage and they bite. You know, they'll take this. They say, yeah, it's 251, and next thing you know, they're at the end. They're damn near Cuba, and then you know they're on the boards like, oh, somebody get me out of here, and it's disgusting. You know, Florida, you have to ask for more money. You got to get at least close to $4 or more to get to Florida. Because if not, you're going to regret it. You're going to burn a lot of gas and hotels. Here's another one, $3.60 a mile. This is Ohio going to Maryland. You can take this. I don't have a problem driving in Maryland. Like I said, I drive on the East Coast, New York City, New Jersey. It doesn't matter to me. I have my trucker GPS, and that thing is like one of the best investments I ever had. And this is only 2,000 pounds. So let me see the dimensions. You could probably pick something up to add to this. It doesn't say the dimensions, but call and make sure. Maybe add something to this, and it would be good. It's a 94 credit, A rating. So there's the profit calculator. Profit $2,000 after gas and tolls. So this is not bad. The rest of these, they don't have a price on them, but that doesn't mean you can't call them to bid on it. You can definitely call and bid on all of these. People are afraid, you know, they want to see numbers on the board. When you don't see no numbers on the board, call them and negotiate. You know, learn how to negotiate. You know, a closed mouth can't get fed. But these are the two load boards I use: 123 Loadboard and DAT Power. Okay, and one more thing before I leave. Load boards are great, but like I said, everybody and their grandmother's on the load boards, and that's not good. So the best way to get the best rates and to stay on the road, if you want to make 7,000 or 8,000 a week or more, you have to work with the brokers. Okay. Once you deliver a load with a broker, put it on the spreadsheet, put the number, the load, and the email address. So whenever you're in a state and the load boards are dry, as a matter of fact, before you even go on the load boards, you call these brokers and say, hey, I have an empty truck. He's in Atlanta right now. Can you, do you have anything open? And they'll send you a list. They'll send you an open list of things, and they pay more. They pay more. If a broker knows you're going to deliver it on time, they will pay you at least $2 a mile. The only time they go to first, the first thing they do is go to their good carriers. Okay, so they have a list of good carriers. When you do one load, you don't have to do 1,000 loads to be on the good side. If you deliver one good load, they're gonna put a check right by your name, and they'll give you whatever you want, for that load, and they're gonna call you first. But if they can't find nobody in the state that they need, that's when they put them on the load boards, and that's when it's like a race to the bottom, man. That's where all the bottom feeders are. They'll take anything. I mean, anything. It's ruining the business. It's disgusting. I mean, I know people are struggling, so it's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because they're trying to stay their business alive. So you really can't say, oh, don't take these bad loads, because they're going to take them no matter what. So if you want to really make money, you have to separate yourself from these load boards. Let everybody else fight for the crumbs. The brokers will always work with you off the load boards. All you have to do is just deliver one delivery on time, every time, and make sure that things get there. Once they have that, you don't even have to ask them. They're going to put a check by your name. So next time you call them, they're going to look you up, and it's going to be yes, or they're going to blackball you. You come late, get some excuse, oh, I hit a truck or hit a deer. They're going to blacklist you, okay? But if you do a good load for them, they're going to put a check by your name, and they're going to say, yeah, we worked with you before. I have a load right here. It's paying such and such. And that's the best way to get the best loads, working directly with the brokers. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a video soon of how to find brokers and get away from these load boards. These load boards should be like a last resort. It shouldn't be your number one, and it is number one option for almost everybody. So if you can get away from the load boards, you're going to do just fine. All right.